Colette Twomey and her late husband Edward founded Clonakilty Food Co in 1976 in a Clonakilty butcher's shop. Although the famous black pudding recipe dates to the 1880s, farmer's wife Joanna O'Brien supplied Harrington's butcher's shop in Sovereign Street, Clonakilty. It was a cottage industry type arrangement. On retirement, her recipe passed on to the Harrington family. The shop was sold to Patrick McSweeney and then his nephew Edward Twomey, who inherited the secret recipe. The Twomeys realised people flocked to the shop for black pudding for themselves and friends. It was popular for gifts and for Christmas tables. Initially, Colette and Edward didn't have relevant experience, but Edward acquired expertise in the butcher's trade and, as importantly, had great people skills. Colette chose marriage and a partnership with Edward over a career in brain scanning in Great Ormond Street. Now, the couple did some early branding, calling the pudding Clonakilty after the town, designing a label, supplying other outlets and participating in food festivals. Their vision to make the pudding, which was greatly enjoyed locally, widely available, led to the growth into today's thriving international brand, which is constantly being enhanced. And to tell us more, I'm delighted to welcome MD Colette Twomey. Colette, lovely to speak to you.
Lovely to speak to you too, Jerry.
Now, Colette, Clonakilty Food Company's development is an Irish success story, having established that black pudding was the business mainstay and ensuring a wide market. You have now have an infrastructure of distributors and retailers. Has this been key to expanding the range? And if so, what else is in Clonakilty's collection?
Well, we started out with the black pudding back in 1976. And we in the early 80s, we put a van on the road supplying other butcher shops, small shops and all that. And literally just to accompany the black pudding and to fill more floor space in the van, we developed white pudding and sausages. Now, and then in later years we did some rashers, some bacon as well. So there are our core product range: black pudding, white pudding, sausages, and rashers. And literally, it was, I suppose, word of mouth. It was a different kind of marketing. There wasn't any digital marketing, or we believe there wasn't any point in doing billboards or newspaper ads. We literally went around the country with a frying pan and plug-in frying pan at food fairs, food shows, cookery demonstrations, all that kind of food events, and the tasting of the pudding was what made it sell. And when we go to a show and we start cooking, and the smell would waft through the place, and people would come and find us, and that was literally how we gained traction. And it was organic growth, and it was a vision rather than a plan, and that's how it all came together.
Wow, right. Now, people have savoured Clonakilty produce down through the years. It is a nostalgia association with home. Now, historically, expats relied on friends and family to keep them supplied, with very few specialist stockists in the UK. That's no longer so. It's available from selected branches of Asda, Budgeons, Morrisons, Sainsbury's, independent shops, and online retailers such as Ocado and YourIrishShop.com. It must give you great satisfaction that you've had that reach.
Oh, it is. I mean, back in the day, we had a posting list at Christmas where Clonakilty people and their friends and relations were in the UK, and we used at Christmas week we sent boxes of pudding over to the UK. And as you say, now it's available so readily now on our website. You can go on. In www.clonakiltyblackpudding.ie and go to the where to buy, put in your postcode, and it will tell you your local stockist. So it is a great sense of pride to me to have it gone in my lifetime, that it has gone from being just so simply available in the shop to being available internationally now.
Right. Now, your extensive range of people's willingness to try new food combinations give rise to many possibilities. Now, the community newspapers here, the Irish World and the Irish Post, your website, and the black and white cookbook published by Clonakilty Food Company features delicious menu options. The foodstuffs no longer need to be limited to breakfasts.
Yeah, no, I mean, we're not under the illusion that people sit in having full breakfast every morning, or even that it's a weekend treat. So we had to move with the times, and in our cookbook we have a whole selection of different eating occasions. I mean, you can use it for brunch, you can use it for as a starter, you can use it as you can use it in a burger, in a lasagna, in tarts. You can put it on a pizza. So bruschetta. I'm just looking at the book here, and there's so many. There's about 45 different options of what to do with the black pudding, the white pudding, and the sausages. So people, and especially now coming from so much home cooking going on in the last couple of months, it's ideas. People are looking for ideas and what to do with good wholesome food, and that's our book is good for that. I mean, we have lots of recipes on our website as well.
Right, now the versatility will inspire listeners. Very welcome at a time when, as you say, that most meals are cooked at home with restaurants closed. Now, we give away the chef Richard Corrigan's cookery books on the show. His inscription for winners was "Keep it simple." Do you think? Would you agree with that?
Oh yes, absolutely. Keep it simple, and I suppose maybe that's that's what COVID-19 has brought, especially here in both here in Ireland and in the UK. People are gone back to the simple things and simple ingredients. Not complicated. If a meal is going to take a couple of hours to prepare, and if you're frustrated by the time you have it all done, there's no point. So you just need simple ingredients, mix them together, and just people have gone back to making bread. They've gone back to all the simple things, and it's just simple, wholesome ingredients, and put them together to make something special.
Indeed, now, Irish food is produced to a high quality standards, with Irish hospitality sectors enjoying a good reputation. Now, we visited Selfridge's Food Hall's Taste of the Emerald Isle showcase, organised with Board Bia. Chef Clodagh McKenna, who contributes to the Clonakilty cookbook, was on hand. Now, talented young chef Adrian Martin also featured in your book as a native of my hometown. Adrian owns a Wildflower restaurant in Trenty Camden in London. Board Bia have a stall in Trafalgar Square for the St Patrick's Day, and chefs of the stature of Richard Corrigan and Anna Hock serve black pudding as a must. Are you pleased that traditional foods are being appreciated?
Oh, absolutely. And it's great. And speaking of Anna Hall, now she did some putting together some recipes, simple black pudding recipes during COVID for our digital on Facebook and on Instagram. And it is I think people like to see something being made, and they like to see how simple it is. And people of those chefs of those caliber, they know what they're talking about, and if they endorse your product, it is a big, now it is it's big, and it's trustworthy, making people that they trust your brand. And it's all really good. And again, maybe like the Irish food, Irish cheeses have always been very well known in the UK, and some West Cork. Here we are in Clonakilty in West Cork, and there is an abundance of good wholesome food. And I think with people, they like to know where their food is coming from. They like to know that there is substance behind it, and it's really put together with love and attention.
Right now, in Ireland and the UK, in the face of the COVID, there's a community spirit now. Some shops are waiving delivery charges to those shielding. The Clad the Ring ranked one of London's top bars with a 5-star hygiene rating and an excellent menu, including black pudding as a staple, has organised takeaways and deliveries with safety measures. People needn't miss out on treats with discounts for NHS personnel. Now, Hearts Irish Meat Market, who are Clonakilty stockists, remain open throughout the crisis to support customers. Eddie O'Kane and the team at yourishshop.com. Even Clonakilty suppliers welcome you customers at a challenging time. As head of a supply chain, how are you coping with it all? It must be very busy.
Well, we are coping very well. It has been very busy. I mean, the catering side of our business here, which thankfully for us is not a big part. The hotels and catering here in Ireland, that absolutely died a death. So, like the UK has been a very welcome addition to. We've been well able to manage. But you were talking about community and. But I think it takes a crisis to bring out the best in people. And people, like the clattering and all the different outlets, everybody will do what the best they can to help people. And that's, it's great to see that. And it's great. People appreciate that. And that's what grows people's business when this is all behind us. Hopefully that will stand to these kind of businesses.
Indeed so. Now, yeah, your early aims of being local suppliers and then satisfying demand further afield has parallels with the distributors really going the distance now to reach communities. The crisis, as you say, has definitely brought out the best in people. Now, sadly, your husband passed away. You took the decision to continue on hiring a business coach. Fortunately, their advice was to trust your own instincts in operating the business. If you've done just that, supported by a valued team, now you've exceeded your goal to satisfy demand worldwide. In doing so, you contribute to the economy as an employer and through the distribution chain. That must be very rewarding.
It is very rewarding, but yes, 2005 was a very trying time. I was always kind of background in the business. Edward was the frontline personality, and then when he passed away very suddenly, it really was a time for thinking and a time for seeing where was the future. Thankfully. And again, you were saying the supportive team. The team is everything. I could do aspects of the business, but I couldn't do. I mean, I could drive a van, or I could make pudding, or I could make sausages, but I couldn't do the business side of things. I didn't have any experience, so it was really down to the team that I put around me. And you're only as good as your team. They were able to do all the things that I wasn't able to do, and between us. We have worked things. We have worked things really well, and excuse me. It has gone on to grow and grow, and we've 3 years ago now we decided that expats were in Australia. And people were asking, we couldn't export the pudding out there, and so we partnered with a producer out there. I mixed the spice back in Ireland for the pudding, and we sent it out there. And we have a producer out there that makes it for us under the name Clonakilty, and so that's. It has, as I said, it's all been very organic, and it is a very kind of hands-on as well. So, thankfully, it's doing well.
Excellent. Now, Colette, you grew up on a farm in Menane Bridge, Cork, but settled in the picturesque seaside village of Clonakilty in West Cork, which has given its name to the Clonakilty Food Company. Now, you served as mayor and gave something back with talks in schools and at events. What are the basic business lessons that you would share?
Well, Clonakilty is a fantastic place. And for people who don't know, it's half an hour from Kinsale. It's an hour from Cork Airport, down on the very, very South Atlantic coast. And it is an amazing town of just under 5,000 people, very involved in the Irish tidy towns. It's picturesque. We have window boxes. We have good industry. We have a good selection of bigger food, like ourselves, food industries, and we have a huge amount of artisan and smaller industries as well. So it's very easy. It's very easy when you're asked to give a talk to school people or different networking people starting out in business and all of that. I just tell them my story and what I learned from experience and the importance of having the right people around you and the importance of being passionate. But I mean, passion alone won't make a business. You have to have a lot of hard work behind it. And that's something I take pride in telling other people, because they're the kind of things that I appreciated hearing when I was starting out in business. And I think from somebody who's been through it, it's more authentic, and it's really interesting for people. It gives people a bit of confidence, and even for school children, people think that I didn't do any business studies when I wasn't going to school. I didn't do any business subjects. I suppose I was landed in when I got married and came to Clonakilty, and I suppose the lesson, what I'm always saying, is bloom where you're landed, bloom where you're planted. Whatever you're doing, do it well, do it right, and you will get the reward.
Indeed. Now, you're quoted as saying that a big marketing budget was less important to drive the business than commitment. Now, the business is still run with traditional values and a focus on the taste and the quality, with the shop still actually going strong. Such is the scale now, though, that you have a modern production plant.
Oh, we have in Clonakilty. The butcher shop. We originally made the pudding and that at the back of the butcher shop, and then on the farm where we lived, and then with rules and regulations, we had to upscale. So 2 years ago, we opened a new purpose-built production facility on the western side of Clonakilty town, and it's I think after all the years, the town deserved it, and we needed. You have to keep your skill level and your place and everything like that. You have to have it up to the standards. Keeps rising, and so we built a purpose built, and it's fabulous. It's great, and this year I suppose. We have our quality and we have our tradition, but our history and our genuine history is very important, and we wanted to share that with people. So we went about having a visitor centre here in Western Road, and COVID-19 caught up with us, and we were due to open in the beginning of April. So we have it ready to open now when we get the go ahead, and it's just people, the history of the pudding and how it evolved and how it happened. And I suppose the frightening thing for me really is it's a visitor centre. It's history for everybody, but it's memory for me, and that's what it is. It's we're just predicting for looking at the butcher shop as it was in the 70s and the 80s, and when the pudding was made in the back of the butcher shop, and then you can walk through to see today's production facility area as well. So it's interesting, and that's now as soon as we get the go ahead, possibly August will be open. Probably not to big groups or tours for the moment, but for individuals, it will be for people holidaying at home now in August. It will be open.
Right, now Clonakilty Food Company, Colette, enjoy a profile as generous sponsors of the St Patrick's breakfast cooked at the London Irish Centre in Camden by volunteers. Also, Clonakilty's logo is on the jerseys sported by the Father Murphy's Camogian Ladies Football Club. Players can be seen at numerous charitable events assisting. Many are actually frontline NHS personnel. Now, it's a lovely club with Larry O'Leary, a proud native of Clonakilty. It's a long-time chair. You must be proud to have assisted with those endeavours in London, Colette.
It has been absolutely fabulous. It's a small sponsorship that we give Larry's team, but we get, without asking for it, we get so much out of it. The girls are, they're all enthusiastic about us and about black pudding, and they proudly wear it on their shirts. And then any event, if we have something happen, as you say, in Trafalgar Square, or if we have an event somewhere, give Larry a call and he will have the girls there. And it is like having our own team over there. It has been fantastic. Now, there are lots of events and lots of different things, but, that's been nothing new to us. We've always sent products for St. Patrick's Day breakfasts in different areas and different places, and or different events, and it's just showing our Irishness really, and how it is really appreciated. It is appreciated in London and the Greater London area.
Indeed, so it's all a great feel-good factor. Now, you're the current custodian or guardian of the secret recipe of the black pudding. I don't suppose we could persuade you to give us a wee hint, no?
No. Many have tried. No, it would be a standing joke with us at times that people say, "Oh, we'll take you out for a night and we'll get a few hints of the spice mix." No, it was given in to me back in the late 70s, and I mixed the spice for all the pudding, and it is great if I'm in London, or if I see some black pudding somewhere, if I see Clonakilty, I know that the spice that's in that bit of black pudding, I've mixed it. So it's not a fairy tale, it's not a fable, it is fact, and so I mix all the pudding and the spice for all the pudding that's made here in our facility here in Clonakilty. So it's the secret's safe with me. I'll leave it to the next generation. We'll make a plan for that, but at the moment anyway, that's what it is. The secret's safe with me. No
problems. We won't put you on the spot now. For those listening at home, there's a chance to win a superb black and white cookbook in our quiz. Today, the website clonakiltyblackpudding.ie features recipes, and there's a link at irishradio.org. Clonakilty produce is in selected branches of Asda, Budgeons, Morrison's and Sainsbury's, in independent shops such as online at Ocado and yourishshop.com. Colette, hearing about the growth of Clonakilty Food Company has been fascinating. I'm sure there's more success to come as new products are launched. It's been lovely to talk to you, and I hope we can have a chat again very soon.
Thank you very much, Jerry. It was a pleasure. It was lovely to chat with you.